Hey, what's going on? Luke here. For today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 players that I'm most excited to see in season 2021. Now, I think it's safe to say, and we can all agree, that season 2020, it was a very, very strange season, but we did see a lot of new stars come out of the woodworks, and we also got to see glimpses of stars and sort of potential as well, plus a host of new signings going into 2021 as well. So there's a lot of players to talk about, a lot of transfers to talk about, but we're going to be talking about the players I'm most excited to see. So look, it's going to be some players who are going to new clubs, some players who got injured, a bit of a mix of players who I think are just going to be breakouts throughout the season. So let's go ahead and get into the list, but make sure you leave in the comment section below who are the top 5 players you're most excited to see. Anyways, the intro's out of the way, let's get into the list. At number 5, we have from the Manly Warringah Seagulls, we have Tommy Trbojevic. Now, I have him so low, I could have him higher. Look, obviously, we all know Tom Trbojevic is a fantastic player, so he's not really a surprise. Like, I am excited. I'm very, very excited to see him play, but not so much because I want to see what he's actually like. We all know he's going to be great. I just want to see if he's able to do it throughout the whole season, if he can avoid injuries, because who knows what Tom Trbojevic is actually capable of. He's always been able to put together great performances. It's just he plays 2 or 3 games and then he does a hamstring or something, and then he comes back early and then does it again. But we've definitely been able to see throughout the last couple of years a trend with Tom Trbojevic playing fantastic, getting New South Wales side. I think he played for Australia too. He's definitely capable of playing for him if he hasn't. But he gets in there, he plays really well, and then he gets injured. And then we all go, oh, well, that's Manly's season done. So I'd love to see what Manly can do with a fit Tom Trbojevic. Now, I don't even know if he's actually fully been fit over the last couple of seasons or whether he's been rushing it the whole time. I would assume he started the season fit and then it's just got an injury and then has rushed it. But yeah, we've seen him do some devastating things to opposition teams. We've seen him in defence and attack being absolutely brilliant. I just want to see what he can do throughout a whole season, and I think he's definitely capable of winning a Dally M medal if he can actually go the whole season. But it's a big if, especially considering the last couple of years. But that's why I'm excited to see him. Not so much because I don't know what he's capable of, but I think it's because I know what he's capable of. We all know what he's capable of. It's just a matter of him doing it throughout the whole year and not just for a couple of games and then sit out another couple of games. At number 4, we have from the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, we have the Englishman Luke Thompson. Now, I had to throw in a Bulldogs player. I'm a Bulldogs fan, so I had to chuck someone in there. Could have been Kotrick, could have been maybe Flanagan, someone like that. Could have been even somebody Avarillo, someone like that. But I thought Luke Thompson is a good one because I thought last year, for all the hype that he had, he didn't really deliver in terms of the money, the hype. Like I said, they were talking about him being the best prop in the world, and I thought for sure, I think you can say confidently he wasn't the best prop in the world last year. But COVID, it was a weird season. He came over mid-season, had to sit in a hotel room for 2 weeks in isolation, then went straight from that onto the football field. It's a hard transition, especially with no reserve grade. That's your reserve grade would have been perfect for him last year. Could have played a few games, got up to scratch, went into first grade. But I thought in the last couple of games, despite the eye gouge thing, I thought he actually started to find his feet. And I think he'll be much better. He's got a great physique. He looks like a professional footballer, and he looks like he can do some damage in the NRL. But yeah, the whole eye gouge thing is a little bit iffy, but especially considering he's going to miss the start of the season. But I'm excited to see how he goes once he gets back in the side, and I just want to see if he's actually able to live up to the hype. Because like I said, there was a lot of hype around Luke Thompson. I think Titans were trying to sign him. There was a few clubs trying to sign him. Bulldogs ended up landing him, and it was like a big coup at the time. But I feel like it's sort of gone quiet because his form wasn't fantastic. But then you can say the same about most of the Bulldogs side. I mean, we nearly won the wooden spoon. So yeah, it's not exactly a big thing that, you know, he wasn't in great form for the Bulldogs considering how the rest of the side went. But yeah, I thought he actually did do some damage in the last couple of games. You add in the rest of the Bulldogs' new signings, your Hetheringtons, even guys like Dylan Napa, Stimpson there. I feel like he could add a lot to that side and just pack a punch in a big Bulldogs forward pack in season 2021. It could be even better in season 2022. But yeah, Luke Thompson, I think he has potential to be a real top forward in the NRL, and I hope it happens in season 2021. So that's why he's got number 4 in my top 5 most excited players 2021. Now moving on to number 3, we have from the Sydney Roosters, we have Victor the Inflictor Radley. I'm very, very excited to see him. Look, a bit of a disappointing end to the season for him in season 2020 due to injury. Even just the season as a whole for the Roosters, they bowed out very, very quickly in the finals. They were not one and done because they finished in top 4, but they lost both of their games and they were out in straight sets. And that's definitely not Roosters like. I think the Roosters would be looking to bounce back, and I think Victor Radley would be a big inclusion into that side. I think he's a big reason why they sort of went downhill. We've seen him over the last couple of years really develop into a premier lock. And with the emergence of guys like Cameron Murray and Tamalalo, Trbojevic and stuff, I think Radley is still right up there, maybe even better than all of those guys. Maybe not Cameron Murray, but I still rate Victor Radley very, very highly, and he's great to watch as a fan. He's got the big hits, he gets in, makes some solid runs. He's also very versatile, and I also think New South Wales really missed him a lot too. So I'm expecting a big season 2021 for Victor Radley, and I also expect the Roosters to hit back in general in season 2021 as well. And I think Victor Radley would be a big part of that. I think him in that lock position would be great. Although they did cover the lock position, and we saw guys like Nat Butcher and Lindsay Collins, especially Lindsay Collins, come in and do a fantastic job off the bench. And even your Takiahos and all the guys that they played in that lock position, they were able to do a serviceable job, but Victor Radley is just another level. And you add in Victor Radley as well as those players playing back to their natural positions off the bench or in the prop position or second row, wherever they were playing beforehand. And I think you got a really, really damaging forward pack. Adding Crichton's back to form. Cordner could be back after a little bit of time off, sort of rest his head a bit, rest the body. And yeah, I think the Roosters, they're going to be hard to beat in season 2021, and Victor Radley is a big reason for that. But I'm excited to see how it goes. Hopefully straight back in the New South Wales side. I'd love to see him just putting some huge hits on. So yeah, that's my number 3 pick. Victor Radley, I think, is a pretty good one. I just want to see him put in some big hits, to be honest. No shoulder charges, but Radley, he can still do some bell ringers. So yeah, number 3, Victor Radley. Now at number 2, we have a player who is a new signing for a new club. It is Dave Fifita, who's just signed for the Gold Coast Titans, come over from the Broncos, come over from their little baby brothers, you'd say at this point. Used to be the other way around, but yeah, the Broncos definitely not as good as the Titans these days. Now, I was umming and ahhing over whether I do David Fifita or do Big Tino, but I've done Fifita just because I feel like Tino, we saw him stand out in the Origin series. We've seen him play very well for the Storm. He just won a premiership. It's kind of the Tom Trbojevic thing. I know what Tino's capable of. I know he can get better, but I definitely know what he's capable of. Whereas Fifita, he can be anything. Like, we've seen little glimpses of him. Similar to Trbojevic, we've seen glimpses of him, but we've also seen him then go injured. So they've taken a big punt on him, the Titans. They've paid huge money for him. You would have to say, even as good as what he can be, you'd still say probably overs at this point, but it's sort of what he represents. You might be paying overs to him, but him signing sort of gets the ball rolling, gets other players coming in. So it's one of those ones that I think you're willing to make. And also, like I said, he has got heaps of potential. He's got so much potential to be the best second rower in the game. If he's not, he's already probably up there. He's played for Queensland. He's probably not far off playing for Australia. I don't think he's played for Australia, but look, if he could avoid injuries, he could easily be the second rower of the year. You add in Tino, you add in the rest of the signings the Titans have made, and I think they've got a very, very damaging side, at least a potential damaging side, but it all comes down to injuries for David Fifita, and that's what's been stopping him and holding him back over the past couple of seasons. It's despite everything we've seen with him on the field and how good he's been and all those solo tries he scored and the big hits and all that sort of stuff, is that he does that and then he goes and gets injured for the rest of the season or big parts of the season, and then the Broncos really suffer without him. So Titans, they've put a lot of money into him. They've trusted a lot with him in terms of him not getting injured. So they've put a huge part of their salary cap in him. So if he goes and ends up becoming injury prone or something like that, well then Titans are in a bit of a hole. But I truly think David Fifita is in for a big year. I think it's what you would really say is his breakout year. I know he has played for Queensland and that, but I think this is where he takes the step up from just being a very good young player with a lot of potential to being an actual superstar. So yeah, I'm expecting a big season for David Fifita. I'm expecting some really nice tries from him too. We know he's got good footwork. We know he's got great pace. We know he's got a lot of skill as well. So I'm expecting some highlight plays from David Fifita, as well as just the Titans in general. So yeah, he is my number 2 for most excited plays in season 2021, but it easily could have been Tino as well as a few other signings from the Titans. So we may as well just say this is the Titan signing in at number 2. Now moving on to my number 1 pick. Now this one is also a little bit of a player transfer, but kind of, but not really. It's Harry Grant. Now he was on loan to the Tigers from the Melbourne Storm. He's now finished up his little stint at the Tigers, gone back to the Storm, and there's a lot of talk about whether Cameron Smith's going to stay. Brandon Smith's already been allowed to seek clubs elsewhere because he wants to play hooker. but it's been made clear that Harry Grant is going to be the heir to Cameron Smith's throne. So if Cameron Smith plays on, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Harry Grant. You'd assume Cameron Smith is playing elsewhere. I believe he's already come out and said that if he's going to play on, he's not going to hold Harry Grant back. And I think that says a lot about Harry Grant. The fact that he's held in such high regards at the Storm, he's come in, he's played well. Like we've seen him in first grade, so this isn't like a gambler or anything. Like we've seen him be this good for the Tigers, and this is in a Tigers side that isn't particularly a great side. We saw them miss the 8 again. We saw them go downhill big time as soon as he was injured as well, and also the fact that he was injured for large parts of the season, I think sort of. We got to see the best of him, but we want to see how he bounces back as well. We want to see if he's able to keep on rolling and keep on improving. Or did he just look good in a Tiger system? Did he just look good in a bad side? Now, we saw him play for Queensland. We saw him play absolutely fantastic. So that suggests that it's not the case. It suggests he's just a fantastic player, and he could be one of the best hookers in the game. If not, he probably already is based off State of Origin. I would say his little stint off the bench was fantastic. He scored the try that sort of wrapped up the game, wrapped up the series. And look, the fact that he was a part of that Queensland side that was the worst side ever, and they got the win, I think it says a lot about Harry Grant and the character. The fact that they chucked him in the last game, pressure on. They dropped Ben Hunt as well, who's an experienced head in Origin level, usually plays pretty well at the hook position, and they chucked in Harry Grant, and he just came in, he went balls to the wall, he just absolutely killed it. There wasn't any sort of, oh, well, I wonder how he's going to go. Like, right from the get-go, he was outstanding. So, he's done it at club level, he's done it at Origin level, so he's definitely able to step up to the mark, and I think he's going to do so at the Storm. And the reason I'm excited is just to see how he fits into this Storm system and see how he goes, because he's replacing probably the best player ever in Cameron Smith, so he does have big shoes to fill, but if there's anyone able to do it, I think it is Harry Grant based on what we've seen at the Tigers and at the Origin level. And just, yeah, I think he's going to be a fantastic player for the Storm. And it scares me. All these years of us suffering as NRL fans and Origin fans and all that, seeing Cameron Smith, Billy Slater, Cooper Cronk and all that. And now they've got Munster, Pappenhausen, and now Harry Grant, who, probably you could argue maybe could be as good as those guys. And if they're not, at least they're going to be, good players for the Storm in the next couple of years. And going to be serviceable, because I think we all thought that Storm were going to have this big dramatic downfall, and it's just not going to happen. Every year they've lost one of those big three players, and now it looks like they're going to lose Cameron Smith. So Harry Grant's going to step straight in. I think he's going to do a fantastic job, and I'm just excited to see how he goes. Because even if he goes good or bad, it's still going to be exciting for everyone to watch, just to see how his career progresses and see how his 2021 goes. Anyways, that's my list over and done with. If you agree or disagree, leave in the comment section below. Is there anyone you would change? Is there anyone I'm not really thinking about and I've just looked over? Make sure you leave in the comment section below. You can even do a list yourself if you want to. Also, while you're at it, guys, if you did happen to enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. It is super important if you do subscribe. It's great to see the sub count increasing. It's also great to see people with the notification bell turned on. Let you be notified immediately when I upload. So you can go in, you can leave comments straight away, you can watch the video straight away. I don't know, it's just really good, and it just seems to be the direction that YouTube's going with now. They want you to turn the notification bell, so please do it for me. Like I said, you get notified straight away when I upload a video, so don't have to wonder whether I've uploaded or whether I haven't. You'll just get a notification straight away. Also, while you're at it, guys, go ahead and give me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's MrLuke and YT for the most part. MrLuke just on Facebook, but everything else, MrLuke and YT, Snapchat included. So go ahead and add me on that. But I think that's where I'm going to end the video. That's my list done. Leave in the comment section below as well. Is there any more lists you'd like me to do? Top signings, so that sort of stuff. Do some more predictions. Let me know. But that's going to be the end of today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.